So welcome to kcouch Clutch Picks episode 3. I just did the results video. I left that up for about 30 minutes before starting this one. So with that being said, let's go ahead and start the predictions. I'm going to start with the Panthers and the Chargers just because even though they're not the first game, it makes it to where I don't have to backtrack. And I think I'm going to go with the Chargers. Right now it's rumored that Herbert will get the start again this week. And I feel like that alone gives us a bit more of an edge instead of Tyrod. Um, as you can see, the Chargers have more total yards, rushing yards, and more time of possession per game, less penalties per game, only a little bit less total yards allowed. We've allowed slightly more passing yards, but slightly less rushing yards. Fumbles and interceptions were both even on. Sacks we have 2 and they have none. And they have slightly better third down rate. But I'm going to go with the Chargers just because there's no Christian McCaffrey, and that alone weakens their offense quite a bit. Next, we are going to go to Thursday's game, where will be the Dolphins going to Jacksonville. I do feel like Jacksonville is going to win this game. I'm not going to look at where they rank or anything like that, just because I only did that with the Chargers because I wanted to show where they were at with Tyrod and Herbert splitting snaps. I think Jacksonville gets the win. The Dolphins are so far not. I mean, they played decent. They were trying to come back in both their games. They did lose. Jacksonville short in comebacks two weeks in a row now. I do believe that Jacksonville is the better team, so Jacksonville is who I'm going to go with on this one. Mind you, every Saturday is when I get the injury reports for the games besides the Thursday game, so a lot of my predictions might change, or maybe none of them do. But I try to limit my changed predictions to like 3 every week. But from the injuries I know of now is what I'm basing this off of. This one's one of the ones that I definitely have as a potentially flipped result. The Rams going to Buffalo. Both have pretty stingy defenses. Both have pretty good play on offense as well. I do believe Buffalo does have the edge. Allen is just better than Goff, but Goff has better playmakers around him. Defensively, they're both kind of on the same cusp of being a great defense. Though the Rams, I think, are only a great defense for 2 or 3 players, whereas the Buffalo has them all over the field, it feels like. So I'm going to go with Buffalo. Once again, that's a tentative pick at worst. Bears and Falcons, I'm going to go with Bears. They just have a strong defense, especially against a team like the Falcons who they have one really good receiver. They have Calvin Ridley. They have weapons, but the Bears have been able to win 2 games in a row against not great teams, to be fair. But the Falcons fall under that not a great team this year either. So I think the Bears do win. I think it's close just like the last 2 games were for them, but I do believe the Bears get the win here. We have the battle of the 0-2s here. Now, this is another one that might flip come Sunday when I know more about the injuries. But I do believe that I think the Bengals just have been playing better offense than the Eagles have the past couple weeks. But their defense has been a burden. So this is one I'm kind of viewing as a toss-up right now. I'm going to go with the Bengals right now just because I kind of want to see Joe Burrow get his first win. But I wouldn't be surprised if the Eagles win. My pick's going to be decided more on this one on Saturday. The football team playing the Browns. I think the Washington football team wins this. Their front 7 is monstrous. The Browns have not had a brick wall type of O-line in a while. And so I feel like this is the game that they will probably lose. Titans playing the Vikings. I think the Titans win this one. The Vikings have lost to the Packers and then the Colts. The Colts being probably the one that's a little bit more of a holy crap that happened type of game. Whereas the Titans have won 2 very close games against some pretty tough competition. I do think the Titans are just better on both sides of the ball than the Vikings are. The Vikings may have Adam Thielen and Dalvin Cook, but what they have there, they do lack in defense, especially with Anthony Barr going down to injury. That makes their rushing attack weaker, and that spells trouble when you play Derrick Henry. The Las Vegas Raiders traveling to New England to take on the Patriots. The Raiders kind of proved a lot of doubters wrong last week, and I believe they have a chance of doing it again. However, I will go with New England. The Raiders haven't had to deal with an actual mobile quarterback yet. So, I mean, Teddy Bridgewater isn't like, not a pocket passer, but he's still not mobile like Cam Newton is. So this one's a bit of a toss-up. I'll be calling this one more on Saturday, but I do think at this moment in time, Oakland has that one in the bag. Next, we have the suddenly very much weakened 49er team going against the Giants. I do believe even with the injuries that the 49ers can still pull out the win here. The Giants are going to be without Saquon for the rest of the season, seemingly, and that's basically been their entire offense for the last couple seasons. I do believe Daniel Jones does get some decent production here, but even without Bosa and whoever the other edge rusher is, I do believe the 49ers defense is still too good for this Giants offense. So I'm going to go with the 49ers there. Texans versus Steelers. Steelers are at home, but then again, what is at home without a crowd? Texans haven't had the best go of things the first part of the season. They've had to go against the Chiefs and the Ravens back-to-back. That alone is a tough task. Now you're going against the Steelers defense that is also really, really, really good at stopping things when they count, I think, in clutch moments. As much as I want to go with Houston here, I'm going to go with the Steelers for now. I'll probably have to see the injury report, but I think I'm going with the right team here. Colts and Jets. I picked the Colts here. Jets are the Jets. They're butt fumble. They're never going to shed that type of play. The Colts defense, despite losing week 1 and letting up a bunch of points in the fourth quarter, did not get any favors from Rivers either for throwing those 2 picks. But even with the pick that he threw last week, it didn't cost them the game. I think the Colts win here. Jets are just not a good football team. The Cowboys have the Seahawks this week. This is one that's a little tricky to pick. I do think Seattle's going to win. Dallas is, despite being pretty good on both sides of the ball and having that comeback last week, Russell Wilson is playing out of his mind, and the Seahawks just have to get a couple of stops early on and force the Cowboys to have to come back to have a pretty good chance at winning this game. So I'm going to go with the Seahawks here. The 0-2 Lions traveling to Arizona to take on the Cardinals. I think Arizona wins this one. Arizona has been one of the shock teams this week for sure. They beat the Niners, and they beat the Washington football team in back-to-back weeks. The second win is only impressive because Washington's front 4, front 7, whatever it is actually a pretty damn good one. And obviously the Niners didn't really have any injuries week 1, and yet the Cardinals were able to run through them like a hot knife through butter. So I'm going to go with Arizona here. Buccaneers and Denver. I'm going to go with the Bucs here. I hate Tom Brady, but as the Bucs team in general, it's a lot stronger than this Broncos team. The Broncos are without a few of their key defensive players, and they do not have Drew Lock and Cortland Sutton either. I think Lindsley even got a bit banged up last week. So this team overall is just a shell of what it once was. Green Bay going to New Orleans. I think that Green Bay might have this one, much like Russell Wilson. Aaron Rodgers is playing angry, actually. He's playing with a lot of anger. Almost like that chip on his shoulder is back from early in his career. You see somebody draft your successor. So I think that the Packers continue to roll. I think that New Orleans does put up a fight because obviously they have Drew Brees. But I'm going to have to go with Green Bay here. Once again, just playing out of their fucking minds right now. Then we have the Chiefs and the Ravens. By the way, the last 2 of these games are definitely ones that I could potentially change my picks on Saturday. I'm going to go with the Ravens here. The Ravens are just a handful to deal with on offense, and their defense is a smothering one in every facet, it seems like. So I'm going to go with Baltimore for this one. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please leave your predictions in the comments. Give it a like. Hit the sub button if you haven't already. I do have one more video planned for either tonight or tomorrow. It'll be a bit of a Tyrod Taylor and Justin Herbert centered video. So stay tuned for that, and I'll see you guys in that video.